Peace is costly, but it worth expenses. A pleasant morning to my beloved student. Today we are going to learn the part 3, the last part of the lesson 1 from your chapter, from your textbook, Reflection, the Gentleman of the Jungle. So here we can see the controversy is going on regarding the possession or the ownership of the hut. Who is the owner or who must possess the hut? That is a question or argument or discussion going between the elephant and the man. So a commission of inquiry was appointed by the lion, that is the jungle, the king of the jungle. So here the inquiry commissions are the leopard, rhinoceros, elephant, and so on. 5 members are there in this imperial commission. So elephant now possessed this hut made by man with his hard labor. But man is not ready to give this hut to elephant because it is his hard work and it is his sweat. So he is really going to fight for it. Let's see whether he will be able to possess back his hut. After hearing the argument, the Mr. Elephant's conclusive evidence, the commission called Mr. Hyena and the elders of the jungle. So this is yet another 1 marker question. Whom did Mr. Elephant call after the conclusive evidence? Mr. Hyena, who all supported what Mr. Elephant had said. Then they called the man who began to give his own account of dispute. Dispute means argument. After hearing their evidence, then they called the man and they wanted to ask from his side too. But the commission cut him short, saying, "My good man, please confine." Confine means restrict himself to relevant. Relevant means important issues. We have already heard the circumstances from the various unbiased sources, non-prejudiced. So unbiased sources without any preconceived notion, without any unbiased means impartial sources. All we wish you to tell us is whether the undeveloped means not used space in your hut was occupied by anyone else before Mr. Elephant assumed his position. So here they gave time for Elephant to present, the High Minister to present his words. But here you can see that they are giving a chance for the name's sake, and they told that before proceeding the argument or hearing itself, they are confining, restricting the man, telling that we don't want to hear your long stories, make it short, talk only relevant. Relevant means important. And they are telling that they have heard from unbiased. Unbiased means impartial. They heard from the imperial commission what happened. So he is telling that the commission of inquiry commission is telling that you have to say one answer, yes or no, to our question. That's all you have to do. And the question to him was whether undeveloped, that is not used space in your hut was occupied by anyone else before Elephant. The man began to say no, but at this point, the commission declared. Man wanted to say and justify himself, but they never gave a chance for the man. In fact, that is the truth. Or we can tell that they didn't want man to speak. But at this point, the commission declared that they had heard sufficient evidence from both the sides. So here the Enquiry Commission is telling that they heard from both the side, that is from Mr. Elephant and the man, and retired to consider their decision. Now they are coming to a conclusion after enjoying the delicious meal at the expense of Honorable Mr. Elephant. So here you have to note this line. So Elephant offered a delicious meal. That means we can understand that Mr. Elephant bribed the Commission of Enquiry by offering a delicious meal. So we can understand that in whose favor the declaration or the verdict will be. They reached the verdict, called the man. They said that we are going to give the verdict, called the man, and declared as follows. In our opinion, this dispute has arisen. So in the opinion of Commission of Enquiry, this dispute means this conflict or argument, and declared as follows. In our opinion, this dispute has risen through regrettable misunderstanding due to the backwardness of your ideas. Underline this very important point. Misunderstanding due to the backwardness of your ideas. You cannot think further, or the man is not in a position to understand. He is very backward. He is not educated enough to understand the jungle law. That is the reason this dispute occurred. We consider that Mr. Elephant has fulfilled his sacred duty. Underline the word sacred. Sacred duty of protecting your interest. Your means Mr. Man's interest. So they are telling that Mr. Elephant discharged his duty by protecting or saving the hut from the hurricane, as it was clearly for your good. And they are telling that it is for the welfare of the man itself. The space should be put into the most economic use, and you yourself have not reached the stage of expansion which would enable you to fill it. We consider it is necessary to arrange a compromise to suit both the parties. Underline that, a compromise settlement. So here they are putting the entire blame on man. Yes, of course, you have constructed the hut, but you don't know how to use it. The term economic use is very important, because the leftover space were there, and if it was not utilized properly, definitely the hut will be destroyed with hurricane. So here Elephant did a noble duty by protecting the hut from the hurricane by sitting inside the hut and saving the man. And they are trying to convince man that it is for your welfare itself. Mr. Elephant shall continue his occupation, and they are producing the verdict telling that we are arranging a compromise. What is the compromise deal over here? Elephant shall continue the occupation, and they are giving the permission to man look for another site. Site means a plot or a piece of land where he can construct a house. So this is the compromise deed or the verdict produced by the Imperial Commission or Commission of Enquiry. So what was the deed? That Elephant shall continue his occupation, possession, and instead man has to look out for a site. They have given permission for man to construct a house wherever he wants, and we will see that you are well protected. And again they are giving a false promise telling that we Imperial Commission make sure that you are protected. The man is being protected very well. The man having no alternative means no choice, because if he say no, definitely what will happen? All the animals will kill him then and there, and he is all alone. Fearing this, his refusal might expose him to teeth and claws of the members of the commission. Teeth and claws here is a symbolism that shows that cruelty of the animal. If he would have said no, definitely they will kill the man. But no sooner he had built another hut than Mr. Rhinoceros charged in with his horn lowered and ordered man to quit. The same thing understood. The Commission of Inquiry Commission understood that man is all alone and nobody is there to support. So next Commission of Inquiry, Mr. Rhinoceros, what he did is, as soon as he built, the man built the hut, he entered the hut and he too took possession of the hut. A royal commission was again appointed to look into the matter. Again, they put an imperial commission, but the same proceeding, that they told that man to build a new house wherever he want and let Mr. Rhinoceros continue. Like this, all the imperial commission members possessed a hut. Mr. Buffalo, Mr. Rhinoceros, Mr. Leopard, Mr. Hyena, everybody occupied the hut. Then man decided that he must adopt an effective method of protection. Please underline this word. The man decided that he must adopt an effective method of protection. If this is the fifth time man is making the hut and he's losing it, so he said that again, no more going to leave his hut. Instead, he have to find a method, a self-defensive method to protect himself. Since Commission of Inquiry did not seem to be any use to him, so he understood that again if he go and complain, no use. So he felt that he have to find out an alternative for this and put this to an end. He sat down and said that in the language Ninchagada te modeje literally means that there is nothing that treads on earth that cannot be trapped. In other words, this very important proverb, you can say that you can fool people for a time but not forever. He is selling in his own African native language, telling that, see, you can fool once, twice, but not forever. This is the fifth time the man is being fooled by the Imperial Commission. So he thought that instead of going and complaining, definitely he have to find an effective method of protection. The same thing when you look back into the history of India, also the same story. After 50 years of independence, under the British rule, definitely under the leadership of the great leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, we protested against and we got back the freedom. So this line is very, very apt. You can fool a people for a time but not forever. Even though man was all alone, what he did is that he wanted to stop this. So what he did is he found and adopt an effective method of self-defense mechanism, you can call it. It is not for human being alone, even for animals, everyone it is like that. You can fool a people for a time but not forever. Early one morning when the hut's already occupied, so he was making a master plan in his mind. One morning when the huts already occupied by the jungle lords were all beginning to decay, fall into pieces. So high house he constructed, and he understood that it's almost getting, all the house what he made is getting decayed. So he went out little further and made a bigger hut, 5 size bigger than what he have made. So once the construction of the hut is over, Mr. Rhinoceros came in, Mr. Elephant entered, Leopard, Lion, Fox, and Mr. Buffalo, and even Hyena entered into, and Mr. Alligator too entered in the hut. So they all started fighting regarding the position, telling that Elephant put his trunk first, Mr. Lion put his leg inside first. So they were all arguing between themselves regarding who is the owner of the house. Presently, they all began disputing about the rights of penetration. So early it was regarding the possession. Now they are using the word who penetrated the hut. That is their question. Earlier they were confronting with the man, but right now they are confronting each other regarding the right of penetration. So earlier it was right of possession, now it became right of penetration. Entering without permission. From disputing they came to fight. Earlier it was quarrel, now they started fighting with each other. Embroiled, boiled in anger. Together the man set the hut on fire and burned it to the ground, jungle lords and all. And man understood that this is a right opportunity to exterminate or execute all his enemies, because all alone and all his enemies are strong enough and they all are fighting regarding the penetration of the hut. So this is the right moment for him to take revenge, and for this he was waiting for such a long time, and he was ready waiting for this moment. When Mr. Lion, fox, buffalo, alligator, rhinoceros, elephant all were fighting regarding the rights of penetration, what he did is he set the hut on fire and killed all his enemy at one shot. Then he went home saying, "Peace is costly, but it worth expense," and lived happily ever after. Even he himself recognizes or acknowledges, telling that the action what he did is not right. Killing all the animals, it is not right, but he is telling that there is no other alternative for him, and it is better to exterminate all his enemy at a shot instead of fighting one by one. So here you can see that how man judiciously waited patiently till the end to kill his enemy, understanding his weakness and strength. So here this story reveals it is not only a story about the possession of the hut, it shows that European colonization in India and Africa, how the Native American African lost their control, and the same way the Britishers came to India as traders and finally they became the owners of the land. But finally what happened? We all regained back our freedom. So here in that also, when we regained or when we fought for freedom, so many people lost their life, but at the end of the day it worth expenses. Right now we are enjoying freedom. But I quote from Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. He said that the famous quote to be noted and must be engraved in your heart: the means justify the ends, not the end justify the means. That is, the step what man has taken to kill all the animals, it cannot be justified because it is a violence. And Mahatma Gandhi is according to him is non-violence. Without troubling others or without any bloodshed, we have to attain peace. So here it's exact opposite against what he's preaching. He, according to his policy, Mahatma Gandhi's policy is that end justifies the means. For the sake of getting good marks and copying from the examination and making your parents happy, it is not the right way. It may bring happiness, you are scoring good marks, but the means what you did is not right. The same way man's action cannot be justified here. He purchased peace with bloodshed and he enjoyed his peace life ever after. So here his action cannot be justified, but he himself is acknowledging and telling that I know what he did is right, but it cannot be avoided because he was all alone in the jungle. So let us do the recap of this lesson. That is, 1 markers is the best way to answer. These are the first comprehension. There are around 7 comprehension questions in your textbook. So this question, this answer I will be sending in the PDF. So please copy the answer from the PDF. All the first main, second main and three main together I will be sending. Please copy it and write it properly with a good handwriting. And when you write it itself, try to understand the answer. Then let us do a small recap. The main character, the elephant and the man. And elephant constructed a hut, and elephant took the possession of the hut. And what happened? He approached the Imperial Commission for his safety's sake, but they assured protection and safety, but it was in vain. 5 times the man constructed until all the Imperial Committee members took possession, and finally he felt that he has to find a mode of protection for his safety. So once the once the hut started decaying, what he have constructed, what he did is he made a master plan and built a much 5 times bigger than the house what he have already constructed. When they saw this massive mansion, all the animals entered into the hut and they started arguing for the right of the hut. So finally what man did is he set fire on the hut and he destroyed the hut, and thus he regained back his ownership of the hut, or he exterminated all his enemy at a shot. So this quote, peace is costly but worth expense, will come for 6 markers. But at the same time we can tell this fable is a good eye-opener that you can fool a person once or twice but not forever in your life. I hope you understood this lesson. Have a blessed day.